There we go. So let's start with gratitude. Mother, Father God, we give gratitude and thank yous for this day. We ask for your infinite light of protection to be with us and through us wherever we are, so that only the highest and best will occur through our thoughts, words, and our actions. With this and many more, we give thanks and blessings. Amen. So today we're going to be talking about soul and spirit. And the interesting part when I learned this or understood this concept was very interesting to me, because I hadn't really thought of it in this way. So soul is immortality, never ending. It is the mortal and emotional parts of one's nature, and it's a seat of sentiments or feelings. And all that has transpired is in your soul. And if we were to take the soul away, what does one have? The soul is one's essence. All memory of one's experience in the earth plane are in the soul. And it's no wonder all the healing work that we're doing, because we have so much memory in that soul, right? It's a lot of stuff that we've experienced. So spirit comes from Latin meaning spiritus, which actually is breath. The life-giving principle is breath. All creation, creative intelligence, and life. A flow of thought surfaces independently of reason, and that is spirit. It's the development in man of a greater capacity to know oneself and to understand the purpose of creation. Mind, intellectual power, and thought, understanding are all connected. Just going to add Lady J in. There we go. And God is the universal principle, which includes all principles. The fundamental principle is I am, one God, seat of perception of the things we see, hear, and feel. And you are spirit, soul, and body. Hi, Lady J.
Good morning. I apologize for being late.
You are is. We're talking about soul and spirit here. So spirit, and anytime you guys want to chime in, question, thought, Reverend Marsha, anything of your teachings, anything, just throw it out there. Spirit is the I am, the individuality. And body is soul expressing, and soul includes the conscious and subconscious mind. So soul makes the body. The body is the outer expression of the soul, and health is in exact correspondence to the health of our soul. Spirit unites the soul and body with breath, and they become one. Anybody have any comments on that before I move on?
Yeah, I'd like to just kind of jump in there a little bit. When it says that that health is in exact correspondence to the health of the soul, I mean, that's a big one to swallow, you know. I mean, it really is. And I think it's a really good reminder to think beyond just what's happening right now and on this earth plane, what we're going through on this earth plane, because it's so much deeper. It's so much deeper than that. like, the stuff that I've been going through lately, I've been reminding myself that, this is what I'm letting go of. If I just keep focusing on, this is the horrible part of, whatever, it just makes everything more difficult. So when I realized that I was blessed by the realization that there was something that needed to let loose out of my body, and now I'm taking time for that healing and taking time to go through that experience. It's a healing experience instead of a suffering experience. So I think that there's so many different ways of looking at things, and accepting my myself as much more than this physical body that I happen to be walking in right now. I hope that makes some sense.
Oh, definitely. Everyone's nodding. Yeah. And, when you had mentioned that, the health is exact correspondence, I realize, when I'm speaking these words, sometimes it's so fast that we're not really absorbing what's really being said there. And that's beautiful what is said. Health is the exact correspondence to the health of our soul. I mean, if we just sit in that and really feel what that is, that's that, we think about everything that we've collected and kept within our souls experiences. It's no wonder, the things we need to shed, let go of or keep, we're always elevating ourselves to a different, place. And to do that, the only thing we can do is to heal and keep something new coming along.
The gateway, because it's also that Plato, and we all know where he was and everything. He said, in his symposium of love and everything like this, he says to heal the body is to heal the soul.
Could you hear him? You can hear him?
I could.
Yes.
Because we're sharing one speaker here. Sharing.
Interesting.
What's that?
I said very interesting.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is my second time through the class. There is a possibility I missed the class last time, but I certainly missed this concept if I was in the class, which is very possible.
Do you know that back in the 80s and everything like this, I had other people doing the self-realization class, and the person was saying that for the first time in the class, and someone come up and said, well, I never heard that before. And so I asked the person, where'd you get the notes for this class? Said in the self-realization class. She had been coming to the class for 7 years and never heard it. So we do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it, but it expands, in my mind, it expands it way beyond what even I had imagined.
Lady J, it's your experience is different than the last time that you took this class.
Oh,
So
yes.
you're ready to hear it in a different way as well.
Mhm.
And so am I. I have no idea how many times I've taken this class.
Well,
I mean, I really, I guess it could be about, 5, 6 times that I've taken this class.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe more. And this one hit me today.
Mhm.
You know, this statement hit me today much more powerfully than maybe before, because my experience is different today than it was the last time I took this course. It also made me think about, you know, last week we, Angie, you had me read that invocation that I had done. And the very first part of it, when it says all knowing, which art within us, hallowed be I am. And that, just that part, the hallowed be I am. And you know, we just were looking, the fundamental principle is of one God, I am. When we first started saying that, actually in Sunday service, there were people that were saying, that sounds like I'm praying to myself. And it caused a bunch of kind of a ruckus going on, you know, people mumbling about it and saying, no, you know, we can't say that. But it reminds me just how powerful those words are. Because each of us is I am.
And you know, that leads to the next step of knowing I am God.
Yes.
And when you say that in a class, you ought to see the response you get.
Blasphemy.
So, question: if right when we get ill, then we are releasing stuff from the soul. Can we still release stuff from the soul and heal without getting ill? You have to have an illness. You can release it in a different way. You can heal in a different way. It doesn't necessarily have to come through an ailment of the body.
Right.
There's a process that it goes through.
Right.
The first step of healing is to know that I'm responsible for the quality of my life.
Right.
It's me right into that thing to take, and then I'm able to take care of it. And the thing is, it's important to know that, and it's different than the believing. Once you know something, it's more than what you believe. Because believe is something that's been taught. Knowing is something that is.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of people get mixed up in that stage.
Yeah. Or sitting back and not taking action,
Right.
You know,
Sit back and then you have the B word, blame.
waiting for something, blaming other thing, you know, other people or whatever it might be.
Mhm.
Sure. And in those cases, I mean, I could feel, I feel like I've experienced that, you know, when I left a body and gone, you know, to the other side. And I really feel like I could recall when I said I was going to do something and then I did the other thing instead. You know, I had a choice, right? So I had a choice and I didn't quite go with the more, you know, elevated expression of self and decided to sit back and blame. And, you know, it's easier to be what we already were before. Really easy. But it's also not, you know, helping our soul expand or universally expand. You know, it kind of puts a delay to our, you know, expansion. Very interesting. Now we're going to talk about individuality and personality. And personality is a state of being a person and the characteristics that distinguish one from another. It is the total individual behavioral and emotional tendencies, character traits, attitudes, or habits are part of our personality. And the personality is the sum total of characteristics that man has personalized as distinct of himself, independent to others, It is the veil or mask worn by man and is acquired while in the earth plane. And then in parentheses there, other lives, contrasted with individuality. And individuality is the state of being indivisible or not capable of being divided and inseparable. The true self is the God part of us. The spiritual identity can never be destroyed.
Our soul.
It is the distinct entity or particular manifestation of divine principle. And divine principle or fundamental truth pertains to God, the divine. And the mind of each individual is consciously unified with divine man or God or universe. And the individuality is the underlying plan by which God moves in expressing itself. God is the world working and is living in the world. And the true self emerges, personality decreases. Comments?
Personalities can be learned, created by humans, defined by humans. And that personality can switch to basically based on what you're doing at that moment. Kind of like the hat theory. We all wear different hats where we are. But the individualism also represents one as a soul, our state of being one. So it's really saying the same things, just using different words.
Yeah. Yep. And personality, that the interesting part here was that personality decreases as we emerge ourselves as individuality. You know, as we become indivisible and we are all one, that little self with the mask goes away. Very interesting. I really like this part.
Yeah.
You know, I do have this thing about when I see people, you know, having these struggles of control or something like that, and hiding behind a mask. I really feel like I all of a sudden see when someone's hiding behind a mask, and I express it and I say, wow, if they could just take that mask off, because everyone can see what that soul is. Like, we feel it before we even say hi, or we already know what each other are before anything goes on, really. Like, that's what that in-between stage is, when you get introduced and it takes some time to adjust in the room with everyone, because we're in that space of knowing what's going on auric wise. Because
or you can, yeah. Or, you know, like you were saying, in that space, you immediately, in that moment before, you already get that sense of, I don't want to be associated with this person. This is not good. And, you know, that flight or fight almost, but at the same time, you're fighting yourself because you don't really know, but you get the feeling. I mean, yeah, you know already if you want to be associated.
Go to the bathroom and get the heck out of there.
Right.
Excuse me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Right, I gotta go. Sorry, gotta go. But really,
part of our development is to know, you know, when you see someone that you dislike, you're seeing yourself. And that is one of the biggest developments that you'll ever have, because then you'll start doing the changes that are, and no one has the change that you have. There's no book out there that says this is what to do. Know that you are seeing yourself, and then the information you get from the soul and from the individuality, it gives you information on to form something that is healthy.
excuse me, tell me this. If the what we're seeing is ourself, but yet you walk into, okay, but here's a really good example. An interview, I had an interview, and I just looking at this guy, and very his appearance wise, very nice looking man, but my what I call spidey senses starts going off, and I'm thinking, well, he appears to be a good guy, the words that are coming out of his mouth, but yet I get this internal feeling that this is a person that is going to cause conflict, perhaps, just really meddling in things that he doesn't necessarily need to be in, but the rest of the world is doing that too. They're meddling in things that are good versus evil, almost like for personal value, personal gains, stuff like that. So can you explain how that would be me reflecting of myself?
The thing here is that you said a key word in your expression. You said the word but. Every time you say the word but, you're going in the opposite direction.
Right. Yeah, about face. Yeah. Okay.
And so, and when you're what you're sensing, is if you feel that somebody is going in an unhealthy expression, then that's what you're changing right now. And that the information you get now is the next steps you take to continue that change. And
Okay.
there isn't anyone that's going to tell you what to do on that. You have the knowing on that. But
Right.
the accepting of that who I'm seeing is me.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I made sense.
Well, it just muddied the water for me. So you're saying when she said, I don't know when she said, but I always heard that when you say but, that erases everything you just said before.
Well,
Wow.
you're going in the opposite direction.
Now you're doing a reverse roll.
When you're having a dialogue with someone, when you start saying but, you're going in the opposite direction than what you were before.
Jackie,
I'll ponder on that a bit.
Jackie, I saw your breathing. You're like,
I'm also pondering a bit on that.
Well,
yeah.
one thing I found is I try not to say but.
Right.
It's really interesting taking, removing some words that we realized, that's not to my highest and best. But is definitely one of them. So.
I would like to say that I think the individuality part of us is our authentic self. And it's easier in some situations to be your authentic self than it is in other situations.
You help me understand individuality is that I can't be divided. And individuality means you cannot divide. And so that tells me I'm a whole person. And then the next step is to accept that whole person. And being able to accept that whole person is to know that when I see things that are unpleasant, I'm still seeing myself. And then I can start doing something about it.
Mm-hmm. There's just layers of this.
Yeah,
I see my life with all those, different jobs and all like we were just talking about a job. That's interesting. But all those, because I was self-expressing outwardly to the world, and all those exact people that kept coming into my life, they were the same style until I finally healed it. And I just kept getting the same jobs over and over. As David said, well, you're going to end up with more, I'm sure. And it did happen until I finally, saw what it was that those people were in me that I needed to, release out, I'm finished with that.
Kind of like takes one to know one kind of thing. That
Yeah, well, we talk about, like the, homeless, if you're driving down the road, you see the home, I mean, right here in Tucson, we're really seeing it quite a bit. I mean, I don't know everywhere else, but they're everywhere now. There's a lot of homeless people. And in my case, this is more triggering to me. One is, are you being truthful to, because I could feel them right before I even get anywhere near them. So in my case, I know if they're, doing the drugs, or they really are homeless, or they're, so I have all these different things going on inside myself that once I get closer and closer vehicle wise, I have these little things that go on within me that knows I was that person or that way many times before. I have been corrupt. I have stole. I have, stealing things, to not in this lifetime, but I have done those things because I feel them. I know them so well that when I get close to that, I either get triggered, like, there's something happens to me and I feel it, and I just, either get upset or whatever. And I have to, accept myself as I am, that I've moved forward in that, so that I can change that with no emotion at all about the being on the corner, and that they want money from me, which is me wanting money from me. So it's a real lesson for me on that case, when I see people on the street. One is, I've been, mentally, like, I know I've been mentally disturbed on it, out there with no home. I feel all those things that those people experience. And, I just, now I try to focus on the heart area and really get that love and compassion. And I just send that energy over there. And, that makes me feel better each time, like, say you were talking about work or whatnot, with the interview. I just, try to keep that auric field of love energy, and, a happy, loving, I even have a color, and I just forward it around in the aura field of everything. And it seemed, for at least in my instance, that helps me to accept myself.
right. Yeah, it helps when you don't have that person, when you've eliminated that from your life as well. But I guess, and I can see, I mean, if I want to be honest with myself, it is that, well, let's see what this button does. But I already know that there's something not right with it. But let's go ahead and push it anyways. What can happen? But that is exactly what not to do.
You see, the beauty of this principle is that, there's people that you're going to meet that you're going to feel wonderful when you see them.
Right.
That lets you know that you're wonderful.
Huh. Makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is bringing up some stuff for me too. I would say that my personality was much different when I was growing up than it is now, but my soul is the same. So, it's like what we're talking about. My personality, I kind of adjusted my personality because I was an oddity when I was growing up. I wasn't like everybody else. I didn't see things the same that other people did. And I was made fun of a lot. I was, Marsha the Martian, or, something like that. She's getting reception from the curlers in her hair or something like that. She's connecting with the Martians, or, something like that, which I was like, wow, I guess I wasn't supposed to be hearing that information or getting all that information. I guess I need to change myself to be normal, like other people. And I did, I changed my personality, and who I am now is so much more comfortable than who I was then, because I got to know myself and value myself, and other people now accept me exactly as I am. I am this me that I can be myself in front of other people, and it's okay. So it feels so much better after having started working on knowing myself better.
Do you know what you just did?
I just do.
No, you just told us the value you are.
Oh, thank you.
I think part of it is as you get older, you don't care as much. And as you get older, you can look back on a long life of what you've done right and what you've done wrong, or what you consider you've done right, consider you've done wrong, and you can make more judgments. Well, judgment sounds the wrong word, but you can say, well, I prefer to do this and I prefer to do that because I know the results of when I do this and I know the results of when I do that. And you've experimented a lot throughout your life. So I think as you get older, you can become more comfortable in your own skin because you've been through a lot. You've tried a lot of different things, and you then, I think, decide, well, this is the way I like to be, or tough luck, other people can just accept me the way I am. And I think you also become more comfortable with your flaws, not to say that you don't need to change them, but you don't have so much angst about them. You can say, okay, I need to improve in this line, I need to improve on that line, but you're not beating yourself up so much. You're just saying, okay, need to do better on this. I think just with age, you just become a little bit more comfortable in your body about who you are. At least I have. I mean, I know there are lots of things that I need to fix within myself. I also appreciate things that I've done right.
Just find wisdom.
Yes. I just, hopefully, some days you're not very wise and some days you are. But you care more as you get older.
David, she couldn't hear you because she was talking at the same time because the Zoom that where it only takes one person.
Oh, yeah. What I just said is that you just defined wisdom.
Okay. Good. Now I need to use it.
It's not saying anything more.
Yeah. It's interesting because, as I heard you speaking that way, I thought about the people that haven't gotten there yet, even as an adult, they've lived their entire life. I was thinking, yes, maybe in this instance, in the energy that we're in right here. Yeah. But then there are, our other selves over there that, haven't quite, gotten to that point yet.
So I had another question. If we live many lifetimes, I think we do we retain the same basic personalities and kind of build on them, or does each lifetime we have a different personality with things that we need to work on, things that we need to improve?
I say for our choice, because we have a choice what we wanted. So we want to experience this time. And then sometimes we deviate from what we originally came here to do, and that's our own. There's no, shame on you thing. It's just us saying shame on us, or whatever, us saying, well, okay, I chose that, so I'm going to do this now. Not there, we want to have a rule or say that there's a yes and a no or a wrong or a right, but there isn't. It just is. We do all these things for development.
And there's one thing that's constant.
Change.
Yep. And that's exactly what we're talking about now, is change. In your soul is a experience of all your experiences that you've ever lived in other lifetimes. And then what you do from that is that you decide what my wisdom is, and then live it.
Okay.
And just accepting ourselves as we are, where we are in the teachings of it. We do a hiccup and we know we did the hiccup. And sometimes they're bigger hiccups than others. And then just, breathing that in and accepting and saying, okay, so I did it. All right. I love myself just as I am. So moving forward.
So when you look back on history, and I'm always very interested in history, and as humans, we just seem to be repeating the same old things over and over and over for millennia. So are we getting any better? I mean, as a human race, are we improving? To us, 2,000, 4,000 years seems like forever. I suppose in cosmic terms, it's just a blink of the eye. But sometimes it gets a little depressing that as humans, we don't seem to, as a human race, improve ourselves. Cosmically, are we improving ourselves? Soul-wise, are we improving ourselves?
How do you feel about it? Because you're asking yourself this question.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. When you finally find a piece that fits, it's a whole different image, isn't it?
Right.
And this is what life is. It's like putting pieces together. And the form of that piece has always been there, and it always is, and you have more of it now, and you know more of yourself. Every time you come in touch with an experience in your soul, is that you're expanding yourself. So pat yourself on the back, pick up those feathers and pat your back.
About that time we'll absorb. Okay, so I'll give you guys, a couple more minutes to say whatever it is that you want to say, and we'll get started on the meditation part. So go ahead.
I was just thinking that, Jackie, those questions that you were asking, I was just thinking if you put, I am in front of each of those things, it would just make beautiful affirmations. I am constantly improving the world. I am, different things like that. Instead of questioning it, are people doing that? Just put I am in front of it.
Right.
I started doing that years ago. Where every affirmation I say I am. Then I say the affirmation.
Okay.
And then also I incorporate breath. Each breath I am. Because breath is the most important thing we have. How I decided this important thing that we have is that if you take away breath, how long do you live? You take away food, how long do you live? How much water, how long do you live? And breath is one that ends life quickest. So that's the most important part of my thing, is life.
And we're going to concentrate on it in just a moment. It's really interesting how David, you know exactly what to say at the very moment.
Well, what I've been working on is that every time I go on to things I don't like in the world, and then I make a conscious effort to stop those thoughts and to send it love and light and say, this is how I want to see it. This is how it is, see it in a better way. And it's amazing how often you descend into these negative thoughts. It's like, wait, I'm doing it again. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I don't want to think these bad thoughts, these negative thoughts. Let's think positive thoughts. And it actually has been quite good in doing that, in that it has helped me to change those thoughts, be aware of how often I think things of people, especially when you watch the news. So it's like, okay, just shut the ears. Don't look.
Right.
Don't look.
I get
and I-
this much news. Like
Sorry?
I said, I get this much news. I get the details and out
That's
I
it. Yeah. Yeah. No comments, no opinions. Otherwise, it's somebody else's comments and somebody else's opinions. Yeah, that's what you're listening.
yeah, it's absorbing into ourselves everything that we're paying attention to.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, this is self-realization. So now we'll do our meditation on it and self-realize within what we just spoke. We'll talk about after our meditation. So we will go ahead and get ready for that and get nice and comfortable in your chair. And I will get started. So go ahead and close your eyes. And let us concentrate on our breath. As this breath moves through the nostrils, it relaxes each muscle, nerve, and vessel in our being. This breath is what sustains you. It is the breath of life. Feel the relaxation that this breath brings to your being. As this relaxation moves gently in and around each part of your being, it turns into something very beautiful called love. You recognize this love as being alive and active with each breath. Just relax and recognize. As you exhale, you release physical toxins and negative attitudes you have toward yourself and all people concerned. Relax, recognize, and release. As you're releasing the toxins and attitudes, they are being dispersed into the I am. Gently allow this breath to settle into the feet area. This is the understanding part of our being. And as you understand yourself clearly, then you understand the world that you move in. Just relax, recognize, and release. Feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leave as this breath moves to the ankles and up the legs. Feeling all agitations and irritations being dissolved. Relax, recognize, and release. As this breath moves to the hip area, relax and release that which does not belong to you. The hip represents independent movement. You are now free to move in life and free to be you. Very gently, allowing this breath to move to the base of the spine and the small of the back. Allow this breath to stay here for a few moments. This breath becomes stronger and stronger, for this is the strength area. Strength is confidence, security, and firmness. Now allow the breath to move up the spine. As this breath touches all vertebrae, muscles, and nerves, you feel enlightened, giving up the burdens that do not belong to you and taking care of what does belong to you. As this breath moves up the spine, you feel confident, secure, and firm. Relax, recognize, and release that which does not belong to you. As this breath touches the shoulders, feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leaving. The shoulders represent responsibility in life, and know with each breath that you are doing your responsibility in life with freedom and ease. You also allow all other people to do their responsibilities with the same freedom and ease. Allowing this breath now to move down the arms, relaxing, recognizing, and releasing, reaching the hands. The hands are the giving and receiving part of our being. We give to receive and receive to give. As this breath is in the hands area, feel the breath that is between your hands and how good this breath feels. This goodness is you. You are extremely good. Take this goodness that is you and place it in the lower abdomen area. The greatest gift of all lies here, life. You are full of life, and life is full of you. Life is happiness, health, and wealth. You eliminate all that hinders you from life, and you put order into your life. Order is the adjusting of all mind powers, moving in harmonious manner for life. Very gently now, allow this breath to move to the stomach area. The stomach is the judgment area. Let us fully and freely release all mistakes and judgments that we have made that have led to mistaken action. Replace with correct judgments that lead to correct action. Relax, recognize, and release. Feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leaving, allowing this breath to move to the heart area. The heart is the love area of our being, and with each beat of the heart, love moves to each part of our body. We radiate this love, and wherever we go, this radiance is felt, and the universe gives back to you that radiance. Relaxing, recognizing, and releasing that which does not belong to you. Very gently, allowing this breath to move to the throat area. The throat is the power area in life. You are in command of your life, and you are at ease with that command. Relax, recognize, and release that which does not belong to you. Very gently, allowing this breath to move to the back of the head, to the very crown of your head. From the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, you are relaxing, recognizing, and releasing. As you're in this relaxed state, think, feel, or see yourself walking down a path. You feel the path beneath your feet. You notice the green grass that line this path. You notice the sun twinkling through the trees that also line this path. As you walk down the path, there's a gentle breeze that touches your body. This is the breath of life. It allows you to take the next step in knowing yourself. As you walk down the path, there's a clearing in front of you. As you walk into the clearing, the softness of the grass touches your feet. Knowing that you are very protected, you walk into the clearing. There's a body of water that is crystal clear and warm to your touch. There are paths that lead away from the clearing. As you walk to the body of water, if you choose to go into the water, submerging completely in the water, breathing freely and all organs functioning properly, know that you are very protected. If you choose to lay beside the water, absorbing the four elements, the sun, water, air, and earth, or you may choose to explore the paths, feel free to do so and enjoy. Remembering all that you have seen, sensed, felt, or heard, and feeling very refreshed and keen, you notice your healing clarity from your healing circle, and you notice that every one of us surround that healing circle, and you notice that we become one healing breath, one healing breath. We direct this healing breath to the healing box, and for all the souls making and have made transition, all the institutes of health that state that peace is the journey and destination, all those affected by the winds, the rains, the snows, and the movement of the earth and the fires, that they are all protected and healed. As you're aware of your healing presence, and as you move towards your path, you notice anything changed, moved, or taken away. And when you're on your path, your mental and physical consciousness becomes aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. And when your mental and physical consciousness is fully aware, open your eyes.
I need to share first because I need to go. I just looked at the clock.
Okay.
And I really am sorry because I always like hearing what other people do too, because I think it affects me.
We're recorded there, Lady J. You can just go to the YouTube channel if you like.
There we go.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I couldn't decide whether to be out by the water or inside, and Tom decided it was inside because it was very safe, and it wasn't not so much safe, but it just didn't have to deal with the world. And then I asked if there was a message for me, and years and years and years ago in a dream, I had this hand of God that came down, up. It came down and then it turned over and went onto my head. And I just felt my whole body, I mean, physically, my body just relaxed. Now, I thought I was already relaxed, but obviously not. Had a lot of tension. So
Mm.
thank you very much. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Lady J. Appreciate
Everybody have a great week.
it. Thank you. All right, who's next? Who would like to share about their meditation and their self-realizing?
I will.
All right, thank you.
But I had a very nice walk and a sit beside the water, and it was like I was the tarot card, you know, in the tarot, I was just letting this stuff go, you know, all like anxieties and my worries and my judgment. And then I felt that I saw the judgment card as well. And I thought, I judge a lot, you know. I think it's just like you know, I think we do it all the time. You know, you watch something, you see somebody, you do something, everything's like a judgment, you know. So you're not aware of it. It's just in there. You're just judging constantly. You're judging yourself, you're judging others. And I just said, you know, I don't like being judged, and I don't like myself judging other people. I'm going to get rid of this judgment thing. I'm just going to fill myself with light, not care what other people think of me. But on the other hand, don't have that judgment on their personalities. We're talking about individuality, personality. I'll have my individuality and personality and try to do my best, my highest self. And I won't judge other people, but then send them light and love, and in the hope that they will also do their absolutely highest and best, especially if they're doing stuff that you really don't like, you don't agree with. Instead of trying to get angry with, you know, instead of getting angry with them or judging instinctively, just trying to send love and light. And it's not to say I like what they're doing, just send love and light instead of getting angry. It was very liberating and releasing. Just all this stuff coming out and getting filled in with just nice, peaceful time, and just trying to let other people be themselves, as long as they're not harming me or harming anybody else. Just let them be their own personalities, and send them with love and light. So it was a very nice meditation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's really, I think of, when you're saying it, I think of the yin and yang thing, you know, that there's always, you know, how you said no harm, but then I think about, you know, there's always the two sides of it all, right? And there's all this lesson of, you know, that way or this way, and there's no wrong or right in the whole picture, where it just is, and it's just going on now. It's happening now, and, you know, accepting the world as it is, accepting what they need to learn from, and us just accept them as they are, even if they are doing harm. Yeah, that's a whole another thing to talk about, right? Thank you. All right, Candace, how did you do?
I'm blocked at the moment, so I have some homework to do for sure.
You are where you are. You just is. That's how
Right, it is what it is.
yeah, we talk around here. We say, I just is. Thank you. We is.
Yeah.
Just pat yourself on the back, like David said, with the feather. Use the feather, not the whip. You know,
Right. Absolutely.
just where you are. Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
Marcia, you're up.
I just, I got a lot of symbolism
Uh-huh.
that is just kind of going through my head right now, and getting multiple meanings that I experience. So I'm just going to keep doing a lot of, I don't know, it just feels really good to do this meditation. It feels amazing. So I'm really, really grateful. And it's nice to be experiencing those symbols again, and just giving thought to what their meaning is for me right now at this moment. So I'm really grateful. Thank you.
I am too. Thank you for that. Reverend David,
Yeah.
how did you do in your meditation?
Oh, yeah.
I am. That's great. Yes, it's interesting because he just, got out of that meditation right as you finished there, Marcia. I was thinking, I wonder if he's gonna stay in his meditation while we because
Oh, he's been traveling. He's been doing
Yes.
some traveling.
yeah, he was moving about, as I was doing the
Mhm.
meditation. I'm like, oh, he's out there traveling. Yes, he is. Do you want to add any more to that?
That's enough.
That's good. Good stuff. Wow. All right. So next week, we're actually going to be going over obsession and possession. People get a little, when they hear the word, they go, oh, come on. It's just information and good understanding behind what that represents. What is it? And this kind of, it ties in to what we're talking about currently right now with the soul and spirit, individualization, personal, about who we are and how it all relates. So it ties in, everything ties in together, and there is a purpose. Whoa, my computer's doing something right now. There's a purpose to everything. So join us for that, and we'll meet you back here the same time next week. So we'll do, and I thank you for everyone for your thoughts, and it's great to keep expanding with everything that we represent as our individual self. So we'll do our gratitude, and I thank you. Yes, Marcia?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mother, Father, God, we give gratitude and thank you for this day. We ask for your infinite light of protection to be with us and through us as we go on our path. So when we meet those there on our passage, we share the love that is so abundant, and we give thanks for this day. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was just waving goodbye a little bit too soon.
Oh, hey, that's A-okay.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.